Hey everyone, we'll be starting in a moment. I'm getting everything set up and then we'll be good to go, so please bear with me. Alright, so everything here is correct. Close that, don't need these. Post it there, everything seems to be okay, so let us begin. Hello everyone, welcome to another stream of Apollo Justice Trilogy. Where we had left off last time, we had investigated for the second time. We were having trouble finding any evidence, but then we learned that that Arabal was spotted in the city again, so we decided to chase after him. Found him in the sewers. He knocked us out. We found out that Apollo is actually the adopted son of Dirk, the leader of the rebels, as well as Samadi, which is interesting. Anyway, there's that. We had also been given a weird eye key, which was used in the statue at the top of the mountain, which opened up a secret passageway into a storeroom. I don't know what it technically was. It was where the water was coming from that surrounded the statue from the outside. But other than that, it just had a bunch of stuff in it and some plans. And in there, we found some evidence and information about, some of the rebels' plans and that the killer might have come from there, considering that the murderer appeared at the fountain. So it's the only way we could really explain that. But we didn't really find anything concrete yet. But yeah, we're going to find out what's going to happen this stream, whether we're going to be able to find Maya innocent of this one, or if we're going to be found guilty of this as well and end up dying. Guess we'll find out. So without further ado, let us begin. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong one. Stop. I booted up the wrong game. No, get me out of this. Whoops. It's because it was the first one there. I tried to click the right one. Right, here we go. Hey, Refatron. Yes. Sounds are picked up. Everything seems to be okay. Yeah, we're good. Right. Reload game. Yes. I actually managed to have a good night's sleep, so I might be more active than I was last time. Also, it's not as hot, so that's also a bonus. It's still hot, it's just not as hot as it has been. So, woo! Right. May 12th, 9:34 a.m. High Court, Khu'rain, accused lobby. Cheer up, Maya, I've got it this time. Maya looks exhausted, but I can't blame her. Nick, I was thinking about it all day yesterday. I never probably asked you to defend me, did I? Doesn't matter. I'm on this case till the bitter end. I know. That's why I wanted to officially ask you for your help. You got it, Maya. Let's do this. We gotta wrap this up and get back home so you can make your dream show come true. The Steel Samurai versus the Plume Punisher, right? You bet! You look as if you did not sleep last night, Barbed Head. It is written all over your face. How can you expect to put up a respectable defense like that? I'm all fired up and raring to go. I guess Maya's not the only one looking exhausted. I mean, you did go through a lot the other day. Refa doesn't seem to be in the best of spirits herself. Was she told to lie or something, or that her services won't be needed? Go ahead, feign confidence now while you're still able. For I will see to it that your last rites are read to you this day. Okay, bye. Anyway, guess it was just my imagination. Ready, Nick? Okay, Maya, let's head on in. Woo. Like, as soon as we come in, someone, like, they start throwing stuff at them. Court is now in session, day 2. All rise. Now then, if everyone is ready. The defense is ready, Your Majesty. The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay. I can't remember his voice, so I'm just probably going to have to ease into it. Oh, no prayer this time, Prosecutor Samadi. I already offered my prayers for the latest victim during my visit to the crime scene. Being that the accused had already been found guilty of the first murder, let us hasten this trial so we may put this dead lawyer walking out of his misery. I could not agree more. In yesterday's trial, the accused was already found guilty of murdering the High Priest. And today she will be tried for the murder of his disciple, Pure Zealot. And now then, Prosecutor Samadi, your opening statement if you would. Certainly. The accused has now slain 2 of the most devout clergymen in Khu'rainism. Even the lowest level of hell, the hell of tickling, would not be punishment enough. Oh. Then, what terrible fates awaits her? Balgipokan, hell, a realm of eternal agony. There she will suffer the endless punishment of Jagar by the Galoon of Pulmoten. You're just making up words now. Furthermore, Gulmaja... Enough! My blood runs cold at the mere thought that such a terrible place exists. I was going to ask for a translation, but on second thought, ignorance is bliss. Now then, please continue, minus the part about the terrible hell awaiting the accused. As you wish. The victim of this heinous crime was the High Priest's disciple, Pure Zealot. He had been training under the High Priest while living at the priest's home. I had met him a number of times, and he seemed like an earnest young man. How tragic that he met such a terrible end. The murder occurred at the Plaza of Devotion during the purification rite. It was a bold crime carried out while the plaza was full of the faithful deep in prayer. A war-bag dagger was found impaled in the victim's upper back. Stabbing caused a spinal cord injury that killed him instantly. Ah, the war-bag dagger, Lady Kira's weapon of choice. We have already established that the accused prints were on the weapon. Incredibly damning evidence in itself. No, I didn't do it.
Objection!
Hold your tongue. Now, being that the accused Maya Fey is a serial killer, the prosecution believes that the death penalty is the only possible sentence. She was only going to get that anyway. Would the defense care to respond? The accused is innocent and nothing can convince me otherwise. After all, the crime scene was packed with worshippers. How could my client possibly have committed this murder without a single witness? Was they all praying? It's like, shut up. Even if they were praying, they would hear it. The accused fingerprints on the murder weapon alone is enough to render a verdict. As such, I see no need to debate this any further. But... well, once Her Benevolence conducts a seance, it'll be clear for all to see. Actually, it won't, because he was looking down at the floor the whole time. Your Majesty, might I have a word? Is something the matter, Prosecutor Samadi? It is about the divination seance.
That's enough!
Your Benevolence! Stop right there, Prosecutor Samadi. As you wish. Forgive me for overstepping my bounds. What was that all about? Barbed Head, have you made peace with your fate? For this time, the divination seance will bring you to your knees. I'm ready, and I accept your challenge. The only problem is I have no weapons at my disposal. Our only hope now is what we can glean from the seance vision and Rafer's insights. Very well. The divination seance, if you please, your Benvenido. Yes, let us begin. Nana? Take my things. And now we'll show you the animation we put all our efforts into, again, for the third time, in full.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
I can skip. Do I want to skip? Will it skip the whole thing? Whatever. We'll just watch it. But yeah, I'm wondering if Samadi was like, you can't really show it because it's not going to show anything because the guy was looking at the carpet the whole time. She's just like, but I want to show that I'm right. You know, I wonder what the water tastes like when it ends up having a seance divination put through it. Or does it taste of memories? Whatever that would taste like? Or is the water, like, really stale? Sploop. Memory time. There's nothing. There's steam everywhere. Was that always steam? I don't get it. Why isn't there anything to see? Or why wasn't there anything to see? Your Benevolence. What in the world? I was unable to invoke any sort of response. I called out the spirit's name many times, but to no avail. Because he's not dead! Just as I thought. Wait, what does he know that we don't? I had sought to confirm the contents of the day's divination seance. After all, it is customary for the prosecutor to verify it beforehand. Come to think of it, she did say something like that last time. I just remembered now. I must go perform the divination seance for pure zealot. It's our custom of the prosecution to review its contents before a trial so they can make stuff up before the defense can. I'm having a stroke. And that is why I sought to stop her benevolence from performing it here. However, she insisted that it be done. She wished to try one more time here in the Hall of Justice. It would appear her benevolence is tired from her manifold duties. I'm not anything of the sort. The victim's spirit will not answer my call, but I know not why. It is my sacred duty to convey the truth through the divination seance. Rafe. What are we to do without a divination seance? I suppose I shall have to deliver the last rites without them. The prosecution has already taken that into account when preparing for today. I am fully capable of proving the accused of guilt, with or without a divination seance. You never fail to impress, Prosecutor Barry. This is bad. The divination seance was my one and only hope. Your Majesty, Her Benevolence said she isn't tired. So shouldn't we try to find out why the divination seance failed? There we go, we're coming in defending her now. And she's like, what the hell? How curious, Mr. Wright. Why would you suddenly take it as such keen interest in the divination seance? Yes, explain yourself. The divination seance is for shedding light on the accused's crime. It is the Holy Mother's hammer of wrath, and that is ever poised to pound you into your grave. You should fear it, not plead for it. I believe in my client. Plus, yesterday, somebody told me something that changed my mind. The divination seance was once thought of as just another piece of evidence. If we were to correctly interpret the vision through careful analysis, then they would lead us to the truth behind what really happened. And the truth will show that my client, Maya Fey, is innocent. The truth is, you don't have anything else to fall back on, huh, Nick? Hey, Swordmaster, welcome. Maya, please don't. Please, you're not helping. How dare you? The voice of a Matar is to be feared, not utilized by vile lawyers such as you. Seances exact a heavy toll upon the royal priestess. It would be best not to burden her any further. Or does the defense feel that it can pose no counter-arguments without the seance? No, of course not. He saw right through me. I'll have to find a way to make the divination seance happen or we're toast. Well, since the divination seance is not possible at this time, I see no other choice. Let us proceed with the trial without the seance as Prosecutor Samari suggested. Thank you, Your Majesty. Why, you... I'll not forget this, barbed head. This will not be the last you see of me. What? I'm the one that wanted you to do it. And now then, I will proceed by providing an outline of the case at hand. Very well. If the lead detective would please come to the stand with we may begin. Why did I say defective? If it was Gumshoe, yeah. Sorry, Mr. Wright. Detective Sky, I understand how you would wish to save the accused in the defense. They are your friends, after all. But you must let them go and move on. Oh, shut up! But there is only one way to save them now, by giving their souls the chance to burn away the tent of their sins in the infernal flames. Ugh, I can't do this. No eating in the sacred hall of justice. Miss Sky? Yeah? Don't worry about me and Nick. You just do your job. I'm sure Nick will figure something out quick eventually. Right. Thanks, Miss Faye. Where's Apollo? He's dead. I killed him. Nah, he's still back in Japanifornia doing, looking after the stuff. How very brave for a criminal with a tainted soul. Very well, Detective Sky. Please proceed. Okay, I can do this. Let me start with an overview of the case. Oh, testimony. Overview of the second murder. The latest victim was Pure Zealot. He had been training under the High Priest and living at his house for the past few years. Couple, I should have said couple. The High Priest widow, believed in me, was identified the victim's body. He may have been mistaken for a rebel and killed, likely due to his connection to the High Priest. That's it? I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. Would the defense care to respond? I didn't spot any inconsistencies in the testimony so far, and I don't have any evidence in my arsenal. What am I going to do now? What is it, Maya? I was just wondering about how much the police actually looked into Acolyte Zealot, because it just might prove to be the key as to why the divination seance failed. What are you getting at? Well, it's just a hunch. Wait a second. During my investigation, Rafe had told me about how the divination seance works. If I could figure out why it failed, maybe she could try it again. Okay, time to press for some more information. Because his body has been lost.
Hold it!
What kind of person was Acolyte Zealot? According to the neighbors and others who knew him, he was a deeply devout youth. I too have heard this name mentioned as one who is fervent practitioner. I suppose you might say he was the High Priest's star pupil. Furthermore, this is an OG Dragon Ball. You don't need the body. What? Yes, you do. Otherwise, how are you supposed to know if they're dead? Oh, the body's gone. Oh, well. Guess that guy's still dead then. You know, whoever steals a body is kind of a bad thing. It's illegal to steal bodies.
Hold it!
2 years? Are you sure about that? We took statements from his neighbors and his fellow monks. They all corroborate our initial findings. What about you, Maya? Well, when I first came here, I saw Zealot praying under the High Priest's instructions. I see. I'm not talking about calling the soul, Raphatron. I'm just saying, as in, the body, for the police. So the, Ace Attorney investigations. Yeah, I saw that, Swordmaster. So the results of the police investigation seem to check out.
Hold it!
Was Miss Inme or Mrs. Inme positive ID the only way to verify the identity of the victim? Huh? Well, no. We also checked the ID card he carried and the data in his family registry. But what? His personal information didn't match any of the public records we cross-referenced. Maybe that's why the divination seance failed? I'm not sure what you mean, Mr. Wright. Here's what I'm thinking. Pure Zealot is a fake name. The victim decided to hide his identity for some reason. In other words, he was using a fake name. The royal priest used a deceased face and true name to summon their spirit. Why, yes, that is indeed true. If he was using a forged ID, then there's no mention of him in our public records. Then he was likely an illegal immigrant. They are not uncommon here in Khu'rain. An illegal immigrant? Come to think of it, Rafa mentioned something about immigrants yesterday. But if that's the case, we have no way of knowing who he really is. We'll have to proceed without holding a divination seance this time. Or you could take his fingerprints and then cross-reference them with... I don't know, it'll take ages. I was just thinking about it. I was thinking through the logistics as I was saying it, and that would be kind of impossible. Like, take his fingerprints. Just cross-reference them with every single person in other countries around you. Like, no, that doesn't that would take way too long. It's probably impossible. I'd always thought that Acolyte Zealot was Khu'rainese. Oh, how the High Priest must be lamenting his disciples' deception in the Twilight Realm. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think? Should we add this to the testimony? Yeah. This is an important fact. Please add it to the testimony. It would seem to be fact most inconvenient for the defense. But if you insist, Detective Sky, please add it what you just said to your testimony. Yes, Your Majesty. He was an illegal immigrant, so we didn't know his real name. Or did you? I don't think I have anything to the effect of whatever. Marks on his face are born of remembers Khu'rain's clergy. Who has what mark and where are kept at Temple. Do not before the right, I know what you're playing. Oh, it actually plays the song when I look at it. I didn't know that. Steel Samurai Watch. Pressing the Makotom on the back plays the Plume Punisher theme song. The exotic sound makes it sound totally different, but it sounds exactly like the Steel Samurai theme to me. Nothing here that's worth... Deep of his neck. Actually, it might be this. Now that I'm looking at it, it does kind of look like a peach, but it's on the forehead instead of the neck. And it isn't as filled out as his. Huh. There's nothing really here I can do. I guess I'll just press it. Isn't there some way to track down his real name? No, not if he was an illegal immigrant. You actually confirmed that he was in Khu'rain legally? Illegally? We don't have any conclusive evidence, but there's also no evidence of him being a citizen of Khu'rain either. Oh boy. Now what do we do? What if there was a clue in the evidence he's gathered? That's probably our only hope at this point. If he really was an illegal immigrant, our proverbial goose is probably cooked.
Hold it!
Maya isn't that Lady Kira who's Maya isn't that Lady Kira who's been going around capturing rebels. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but...
Objection!
That verdict was already handed down in the previous trial. It is no longer a point of dispute, and I will not allow you to make it so. But... no ifs, ands, or buts, and most of all, no buts. The accused was posing as Lady Kira, and she killed Acolyte Zealot because she mistakenly believed him to be a rebel. That's not true! I'm sorry. The verdict has already been read into that case. I have to assume that it's fact now. Now what do we do? Now I know why the divination seance failed, but... nothing's really changed. Yeah, which means we're in big trouble. If he really was an illegal immigrant, if it's going to be real hard to find out his real name. I guess our only choice is to give up the whole divination seance thing. If only there was some way to find out the victim's real name. The way that they word that makes me think there is a way. Maybe I'm just missing it. Maybe let's try pressing on the other thing.
Hold it!
But the victim was using a fake name, so he may very well have been in Khu'rain illegally. Yes, that's very likely the case. Now that I have an opening, what next? Still not going to help me learn Zealot's true identity. Was he really an illegal alien? Okay, you don't... Alien means a thing from another planet. You don't call other people alien, you just call them immigrants. Or, you know, foreigners. Alien makes them sound like they're completely different species. Who has that mark and where are kept at Temple. I'm wondering if this is what I'm supposed to think.
Objection!
No. Is something the matter? Sorry, that scream just sort of slipped out. I don't know about what trials are in your country, but we refrain from such rash outbursts. Yeah, it's more just a personal thing. I think it's really insulting to call someone an alien because it kind of makes them sound as though they're a completely different thing. Like they're a monster or something. And it just sounds insulting to use, and I hate it when people use it. So, yeah. Okay, so I don't present that. Let's do Samurai Watch. Maybe I have to present...
Objection!
Yeah, okay. Sorry, Detective Sky. But the police missed something important in their investigation. Huh? What are you talking about? The victim was undeniably a Khu'rainese native. And the crime scene photo proves it. It does? It's a little hard to see, but look closely. You'll see clear proof that the victim was Khu'rainese. Where? I don't see anything that would prove that. This proves the victim was Khu'rainese. He didn't have any shoes on!
Take that!
Look at the tattoo right here. Well, that's a tattoo of a peach. I would like you to all think about the meaning of this tattoo. Oh, the victim really liked peaches? Well, peach are a favored delicacy in Khu'rain. They happen to be a personal favorite of mine. The sweetness of their abundant nectars and the softness of their perfectly ripe flesh. Okay, you don't need to be weird about it. They are a blessing from the Holy Mother herself. Like they are everywhere else. Nick, I've suddenly got a craving for peaches. After the trial, Maya. Right now we have a bigger fish to fry. Unfortunately, this is not a tattoo of a peach. It is not a peach, you say? Then what is it? Take a closer look. Haven't you seen something like that before? Namely the tattoo on the High Priest's brow. Oh my! What? This mark is only borne by members of the Khu'rainist clergy.
Objection!
So that is what you believe it to be. But are they not utterly different shapes? Sure, they're shaped differently, but there's a reason for that. The victim had the peach-shaped tattoo inked over an existing tattoo for some reason. However, the dark red portion is exactly the same as the mark all Khu'rainist clergies bear. Oh, you're right. About 20-some-odd years ago, everyone did get one, didn't they? I see I myself bear one on my right butt. That is definitely too much information, Your Majesty. Information on everyone who enters the clergy is maintained at the temple. All we have to do is look up a monk with a mark in the same spot. I'm on it. I'll let you know if I get any hits. That will not be necessary. If you seek information on the clergy, go to Temple. I have it all right here. Oh my, you never cease to amaze. So tell us, is there anyone who fits the bill? There is just one, and his name is Real Nemu. Real name! Real name! His name is Real Name. Oh my god. Okay. God, the names in this game. It's this one game where they have weird as hell names. The other ones have been kind of like normal names. I guess they can go ham in a different country. He became a monk 20 years ago. I just noticed she's floating. Why was Rafa just standing in front of the puddle, floating in the air? And then that must be the victim's real name. But why would he have tried to cover up his tattoo with another? Yeah, there must have been some reason. Nick, that's not important right now. The important thing is we know his real name. You're right. Your Majesty, now that we know the victim's real name, the divination seance might finally work. A lawyer who willingly seeks a seance. This is entirely unprecedented. You are about digging your own grave, Defense. We won't know that until we try. Sure, it's risky, but it's our only hope. Very well, let the divination seance be held once more. Bring back the princess! Why would a lawyer work so hard to see the divination seance be held once more? You are a fool, bobbed head, and your foolishness shall yield no gratitude from me. For with the truth revealed by my insights, I shall gladly seek your demise. Bring it on, princess. Bring it on! I'll take you down in the ring! Because I will correctly interpret each and every one of your insights. Huh. You will regret ever thinking you could use my insights as evidence. Well, that's what they were originally used for, so I am actually correct. You're wrong in thinking the other way. You're going to do the whole thing again?
O holy, let the eyes
I'm going to skip because we already done it.
So that we may receive their...
The Pool of Souls. Again! No! Skip! I'm not watching it again. Imagine if that was the one time it was different. Gingy Hill. Ruined Punisher theme. Heavy. Pain. Oh my. It is just as Mr. Wright surmised. Purre Zealot wasn't the victim's true name. And now at last we have seen the victim's final moments. But all we could see was the ground. You seem terribly disappointed. I take it you did not find any fodder for one of your infamous turnabouts. Ugh. I, on the other hand, have discovered something. Conclusive evidence that establishes the accused's guilt. You did? A most surprising surprise tack. So tell us, Prosecutor Smarty, what is this conclusive evidence you have found? The Plume Punisher theme song that the deceased heard. Please consider this item here. It is confiscated from the accused during her interrogation. Hey, that's my Plume Punisher strap! When you press the magatama on the Plume Punisher's belt, it seems the accused inadvertently pressed the button in the midst of her crime. How do you inadvertently press it? This strap is an extremely rare item. It is not, is it not, Miss Faye? You better not break it. There's only one of those in the whole wide world. Maya, no! It is just as I said. Your flights of fancy have come crashing down on you. She sure seems to be enjoying this. Yeah, I've never seen her look so thrilled before either. It is time to accept the fact that a divination seance is far more than mere evidence. It is the very truth that brings the hammer of justice down upon the accused. That is as conclusive evidence can get. Now then, if there are no further objections...
Objection!
Slow down there, Your Majesty. At least let me make a counter-argument. What's this? Do you take issue with the divination seance? Well, I have issues with it. I just don't know what they are yet. But that's never stopped me before. The divination seance is not the absolute truth. It only becomes the truth after it's been interpreted correctly. You do not know when you are beaten, do you, you foolish lawyer? I am the only one who speaks for the Matama of the deceased. If you believe there to be errors in my insights, then let us see you prove it. Okay. Blunk. Rafa's insights. The victim was offering up his prayers. It was the night of the rites, though it is dark, the pattern of the plaza's ground was visible. Then, someone was there, and the theme to the Plume Punisher filled the air. The accused held the defenseless victim down and plunged her knife into his neck. The blade struck true, and in that instant he departed from this world. And that is everything the deceased experienced in his final moments. Her benevolence and insights have painted a detailed picture, both vivid and true. I didn't notice any holes there. As they stand now, those insights are really stacked against us. I'll just have to go over each and every one of the deceased sensations very carefully. Ow! Gingaheel! Heavy. Pain. Now the right, though it's dark, the pattern on the plaza's ground was visible. Is that the plaza ground? Let me see. What record? Is there a picture of the area? Yeah, I guess so. That's a carpet. And that it does look like it. It doesn't look like a carpet from this angle, but then, you know. Okay, yeah, it's one of those things when you have a hiccup, but you've also got a burp, so then it kind of like goes up and down. Does that make sense? Pattern on the ground was visible. Someone was there, and the theme to the Plume Punisher filled the air. The accused held the defensive victim down and plunged her knife into his neck. I guess because it says heavy, but would it say heavy if someone's pushing you? Wouldn't it just be saying something like pushed? Or something? Punisher theme. Punisher filled the air. I guess I can... I meant to choose this.
Objection!
I am wrong! Your benevolence, isn't this statement inconsistent with the vision? Inconsistent? I think not! Exactly! That's why there's inconsistency lies. It should be inconsistent. No, I believe it is in the defense's thought process that the inconsistency lies. I guess there wasn't any inconsistency in there after all. Like, this is present all throughout. This shows up in the second one, but it doesn't get louder. It's always the same thing. In the instant that the blade struck, he died. But he doesn't. I mean, I guess that's pretty instant, to be honest, actually. Guess because she's not mentioning it, it might be important.
Objection!
Nope. This insight is wrong. I think not. Exactly. That's where there's no inconsistency. And you are wrong. Oh. It sure looks like you could use it my help, Nick. Yes, please. Well, you know how the victim smelled Gingahill? That sensation seemed out of place. The smell of Gingahill, huh? Thanks, Maya. Okay, time to check the seance vision again. I guess it was the wrong thing then. Because it's never mentioned. But I don't know if this is the right place to do it.
Objection!
Nope, wrong one. Inconsistent, I think not. Exactly. Wait, no, the time. Oh, I just remembered. No, stop doing that.
Objection!
Was it really the night of the rite? What do you mean? It could not be otherwise. The accused slew Acolyte Zealot after killing the High Priest during the purification rite. The only problem is that the sea spirit does not corroborate that. What's this? Take a good look at what the victim smelled. Do you see how it says Gingahill? Acolyte Zealot shouldn't have smelled any Gingahill on the night of the rite. What do you mean? I'm surprised that I know more about your religion than you do, man. Let me back up my statement with some evidence for you. This should explain how the victim couldn't have smelled Gingahill on the night of the rite. These dishes are only prepared during the feast, which starts at noon on the day before the rite and must be finished by 3 p.m. the next day. I literally forgot this, even though I read it not a few moments ago. That's why I was like, oh! I remembered it.
Take that!
The High Priest's wife, Believe in Me, told me about the Feast of Blessings. The feast includes a number of Gingahill-based dishes, and they're only supposed to be served at a certain time the day before the rite. Why, I believe you're right. Completely forgotten about that. During the feast, a unique smell of Gingahill pervades the entire kingdom. The fact that the victim smelled it means he was murdered between noon and 3 p.m. the day before the purification rite.
That's enough!
Huh. I'm not so easily fooled. Did that autopsy report not make it clear? The estimated time of death was during the rite. Alright, I told her about that yesterday. Forgive me your benevolence. But the estimated time of death is just that, an estimate. Depending on the circumstances, it's possible for it to change. What's this? Like, if a body was kept cold, the slow rate of decay makes the death seem more recent. Well, I believe I have heard something of the sort before. If it is as Mr. Wright claims, didn't they say at some point that he was there before everyone else? Like he was the first one there, from what I recall. At least that was mentioned. So he might have been dead long before everything else. The estimated time of death is the autopsy report. We have to be revised. Woo! Barbed head, you blinded me with science. Sorry. Wait, what am I apologizing for? No matter. The murder may have occurred in the afternoon hours the day before the rite. Nevertheless, the murder weapon with the accused prints on it is incontrovertible evidence. I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth. Beat that, barbed head! I'm gonna beat your ass! The afternoon. Oh, two things changed. Oh, no, they didn't. The time of death has been corrected, leaving my insights infallible. Nick, a change in the time of death is bound to cause some sort of inconsistency. If I had something that showed what it was like on that day, it could really help. Oh, God. Fine, just tell me the answer, game. Just tell me. Afternoon at the right. Though it was dark, the pattern on the ground was visible. It was not the afternoon. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to... Some town elders see her as Lady Khu'rain in the flesh. Today's purification rite. The thick white ice that throws the ground from the inner sanctum to the Plaza of Devotion until yesterday has melted. The rite can now go on as planned. We give thanks to the blessing of the Holy Mother. May 9th. It says May 9th. The area around the inner sanctum will join clear skies today. The warmer temperature will make for excellent prayer weather. Be warned, however, that we will see a cold front moving in overnight. And the day of the rite happens, or the blessing one, happens the day before. So it would have been May 8th. So it would have been frozen.
Objection!
I knew I was about to say that. I meant to say beat, but for some reason I didn't say the B, so I said eat. The change in the date and time of crime has caused a new inconsistency to surface. What's this? You are making this irritating face again. Cease that at once. Sorry, but this is the face I was born with. Now, let's focus on what is important. What the victim saw in his final moments. If a baby came out with this face in a big grin, I'd be worried. Do you have bats in your belfry, barbed head? Wow, okay. That's a weird way to insult someone. Old-fashioned. There is nothing to see. The ground of the plaza was all that entered the victim's eyes. And that's what I find so strange. On the day before the rite, it should have been impossible to see that pattern on the ground. Impossible, you say? Do explain. This piece of evidence shows why the plaza's ground was not visible that day.
Take that!
This newspaper has an article that is tiny in size, but huge in importance. It says that the ground was covered with thick, white ice the day before the rite. What? But the victim did not so much as see so much as an ice cube on the ground. Oh, God. Exactly. And so we must ask, what was the victim looking at in his final moments? If you have something to say, then say it. Was he in the secret passageway? The last thing the victim saw was not the ground at the Plaza of Devotion. This can only mean that he was killed elsewhere. What? 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 Then where do you propose the victim was actually killed? Yes, tell us where. Otherwise your argument is worthless. About that. He was against the rock! Ah! He was against the rock, that's why there's handprints on it, because he was pushed against it. I hadn't gotten to that part yet. Any ideas, Maya? Let me think. Well, it's somewhere green and shaggy, right? Right, but where could that be? What is it, Bald Head? Giving up already? Not at all. Now, where have I seen something green and shaggy? This shows where the victim was killed. Where is it? There it is.
Take that!
The secret hideout the rebels were using. The rebel hideout? There was no such place anywhere on the floor in the chamber. You're absolutely right. There's no place on the floor anyway. Then what did the victim see in his final moments if not the floor in the rebel hideout? This is what the victim saw in his final moments.
Take that!
This shaggy green surface the victim saw was one of the moss-covered stone slab. As you can see, there are two distinct handprint prints in the moss here. I believe the victim was killed while he stood there with his hand pressed against the slab.
Objection!
That does agree with the seance vision. However, one cannot definitely declare that they are one and the same. I concur. There is no proof that a murder occurred in the rebel hideout. Indeed, what evidence do you have of this? I've already shown you the evidence. What do you mean? Please take a look at the second version of the photo I just showed you. You can see the results of the luminol test I performed in the rebel hideout. This is proof positive that someone had been bleeding in front of the stone slab. Is this true? This information has already been provided to the police. Detective Sky, to whom does this blood belong? We thought it was the High Priest's blood that flowed in from the outside, so we haven't tested it yet. Then you must do so at once. Yes, Your Majesty. It appears the police have finished the testing the blood. Detective Sky, your report, please. The blood found in the rebel hideout belongs to Khu'rain Zealot, just like the defense claims. Detective Sky, you realize what your blunder has done to me. When this trial concludes, I want to see you in the prayer chamber. There, I will deliver a joyous sermon unto you for 8 hours straight. I'm really sorry, but please anything but that. Maybe, just maybe. This is the chance we've been waiting for? Yep, it would seem so. I hate to do this to Emma, but go for it. It was full speed ahead. The victim was killed in the rebel hideout the day before the purification rite. Then his body was moved to the Plaza of Devotion by someone we've yet to identify. So when we thought we saw Acolyte Zealot praying during the rite, he was already dead. Whichever one. And that's not all. If he was killed at the inner sanctum, that would explain one more thing. And that would be how the time of death was made to look later than it actually was. The proof of which was left behind at the sanctum. This points to how the time of death was made to appear later than it actually was. I don't know. I didn't actually think that far ahead. Because they turned off the lights? I actually don't know. Just present this again. Screw it.
Take that!
Do you truly believe that could affect the estimated time of death? And why not? And then let us test the idea on your body. Pass. Mr. Wright's body may still be alive, but he appears very much brain dead. You got that right. We're going like on an upswing, and then we immediately fail. We're crowding up Lorna. The conduct charge is filed prosecution. You're a bad man. Now die. Fires the accused, Maya Fey. End the defense, Phoenix Wright. Guilty. The next day, Maya was executed, and Phoenix was shot. Luckily, this gives all my stuff back, so... I think I just figured it out when as I selected the option, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Skip, skip, skip. I will say that it is a really silly blunder. Just because they didn't just because it's in the same place doesn't mean it's the same blood. You should still test it, especially when it's new evidence beforehand. Whee! Spin. Where is it?
Take that!
This one? Yeah. Why, these are photos of the inner sanctum. I'd like you to focus on this one. The proof is here, right in this photo. This is how the time of death was made to appear later than it actually really was. Do you see how the snow was removed from this one spot only? That's because it was used to keep the victim's body cold. And that's why the time of death wasn't what it seemed.
That's enough!
The time was mistaken, and the place too. And just what do you believe that proves? That my client is innocent. What of her fingerprints on the dagger, and the Plume Punisher theme the victim heard? You have failed to address these two key pieces of evidence. Ugh, I see your point. Well, actually, the Plume Punisher was still in her bag. Wasn't this your big chance, Nick? I was throwing something out. That's probably not true. I think she had it from the beginning. I'm really hoping that the difference in location can be invalidated. Either way, the weapon of the theme song from being used as a weapon against you. What if it was at the same time? Nah, that wouldn't make sense because the thing was... Or would it? We'll have to wait. Actually, that might be possible. At least for one of them. Really? What's this? You say you can contradict your argument for a key piece of evidence? Very well, let us see you try. Nick, take a good look at the rebel hideout photo. Oh. It's the clock! The defense can invalidate this piece of evidence. The Plume Punisher theme? And how do you intend to support such a claim? Since the murder happened in the rebel hideout, there's something there that played the theme song other than my client's strap. It wasn't the strap? Is this true? The item that played the Plume Punisher theme song was this. The clock. Whoa.
Take that!
This is the Plume Punisher alarm clock. I believe the victim heard its alarm go off.
That's enough!
What proof do you have that the alarm went off?
Objection!
What proof do you have that it was my client's strap that played the theme song? Ugh. Do you not twist the facts with your lawyerly wiles? Either way, the accused would still be guilty based off of her prints on the murder weapon. And here is what really happened. The victim stood with his hands on the stone slab in the hideout. It was the afternoon of the day before the rite. Though there had been some twists and turns, that is the truth of what happened here. I won't get anywhere until I can eliminate the dagger. Most impressive, Your Benevolence. I see no inconsistencies anywhere in the prosecution's case. No, there is one. What is this? What is this? You still claim there to be an inconsistency? Huh. Try as you might, the outcome will always be the same. Stood. It was the afternoon of the day before the right. Plunged her knife into the victim's defenseless neck. She still... Did they also change this? Because she still had the, thing. Ow. Oh, sorry. I had something going on for a second. Right. Why didn't he fall? The defense is next. No! Pause! God, I opened up frickin'... I opened up the frickin' window for something else. Then it made me come out of the game. Right, there we go.
Objection!
I chose the wrong thing! Inconsistent. Why can't I skip this? I've already seen it. Skip. It wasn't a hiccup burp, it was something else this time. Yeah. Punch the knife in the defense's victim's neck. Was he trying to push it? I had this selected, right? I wasn't like off. No, because I would have had to been way off, like up here. Where was... Okay, it doesn't say where this was during that day. Spinal cord injury from a stab wound in his back. Dishes were only prepared, which starts at noon and must be finished by 3 p.m. Because he was there for the meal. I wonder if it's here.
Objection!
The victim was originally thought to have been stabbed while bent over in prayer. You literally said it the moment I did it. I was like, I pressed it and then I look over and I see what you put. It's probably where you present it. Yeah, I figured. The victim was originally thought to have been stabbed while bent over in prayer, but he was actually standing with his hands against the stone slab. So the question is, where did the sensation of something heavy come from? Yes, I see your point. Since the victim was standing, he couldn't have been held down. The Then tell us, Mr. Wright, what was that heavy sensation felt by the victim? Huh. What caused the heavy sensation Zealot felt? And any thoughts, Maya? I agree that sense of heaviness seems important, but there's also the matter of Zealot's hand on the stone slab. Why were they even there? Could it be related to the cause of the heavy sensation? Why are they being so obvious for some of these now? Like, before I had to try and guess, and now they're randomly going like, maybe it has something to do with why it was heavy. It's like, oh yes. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any answer for us? Of course. If I just envisioned the state Zealot was in when he was killed. The cause of the heaviness the victim felt was... The only conceivable cause is the stone slab falling over, trapping the victim underneath. What? Oh! The stone slab comes falling down on him, crushing him underneath. Right. That was the cause of the heavy sensation the victim felt.
Objection.
Well, your theory is impressive. You have overlooked a key fact. The victim was not crushed to death, rather he was stabbed. Oh yeah. Or do you claim that the dagger was plunged in after the slab had fallen on him? Plus, had the killer been behind the victim, they would have both been crushed together. Well, would you care to explain? Sure, I'd love to. That doesn't mean I can. How could the dagger have been plunged in after the slab fell on the victim? The killer couldn't have plunged the dagger into the victim after the slab fell on him. But what if the murder weapon wasn't what he thought it was? Well, there were other weapons in the rebel hideout. But with the entrance to the hideout is right by the stone slab, there isn't enough space between the two to use any of the weapons found within. Yeah, there's not much space by the entrance, is there? So what was the real murder weapon then? Better think of something. If the murder weapon wasn't the dagger, then the dagger must have been plunged into the victim after he was already dead. That means he was stabbed at least twice, but the autopsy doesn't mention that. Then he must have been stabbed in the same spot with something shaped like the dagger. Where does this random butterfly keep coming from? Is it just following him around? Would the defense care to offer an explanation sometime this century? You've barely given me a few minutes, man! Wait, wasn't there something dagger-like near the scene of the crime? Something that had the shape similar to the Warbad dagger? It's the lantern! The lantern killed him. Present your evidence at this time, Mr. Wright. I'm doing the wrong voice. This shows what really killed the victim. Bam, ba, bam, ba, bam. No, none of those. This one.
Take that!
Is this not the photo from the scene of the High Priest's murder? Are you suggesting the murder weapon is hidden therein? This is what really took Puree Zealot's life. Bam, ba, bam. I already thought that this was a murder weapon before, and I mentioned it before. It was literally the first thing I said when I came to the scene. It was like, oh, he probably fell on top of the statue. But that was for the other guy. But that is the Warbad statue? Exactly. The Warbad statue has dagger-like figures protruding from it. This is what really took the victim's life.
Objection!
You imbecilic fool. The statue is outside the hideout. How do you propose he impaled someone who's inside? Haven't you heard? The Warbad statue also functions as the hideout's door. What do you mean? The statue can pull a complete switcheroo. A switcheroo? To put it simply, it's a revolving door. A revolving door? Why, that makes perfect sense, right? Therefore, I believe the truth behind the divination seance to be this. As the victim entered the secret hideout, the stone sculpture came tumbling toward him. He threw up his hands to stop it, but its waist forced him backwards. Whee! Unfortunately, the Warbad statue was right behind him. This cannot be! Yeah!
That's enough!
But the accused's fingerprints were found on the dagger. She held it while rehearsing for the rite, which is when her prints got on it. Yeah. This is a shocking turn of events, but suddenly I gained 20 years back or something, or 50. There is a great deal of circumstantial evidence in the defense's favor. I believe we must accept that the Warbad statue is what killed the victim. Yeah! Now that we know Acolyte Zealot really met his demise, there's no basis for claiming my client committed this crime. Nice work, Nick. How can this be happening yet again? The divination seance is the only truth. No, your benevolence. It's not the truth itself, but it is a means for shedding light on the truth. Do you understand? Yeah, do you understand now? The kingdom needs lawyers so that they can interpret your insights. But that means I have been misinterpreting the voices of the spirits all this time. Your benevolence, are you unwell? All the color has drained from your face. I will be fine. Continue proceedings without me. As you wish. Yeah, you've killed a lot of innocent people with your insights. How do you feel about that? I feel kind of bad for her. Now then, I would have the defense continue. Please explain what you have learned now that we know how the victim actually died. Didn't she say she wasn't allowed to hold it? I think so. We'd have to have a flashback to remember fully. Acolyte Zealot was killed in the hideout before the High Priest's murder. That means the body found at the Plaza of Devotion was moved there by the real killer. But only after the Warbad dagger was thrust into him, to make it look like the murder weapon. That does seem to agree with what we know now. But why would the real killer go to such lengths? I believe stabbing Acolyte Zealot's body with the dagger and moving it to the plaza was a warning from the Twilight Realm. Is that an actual thing? I'm gonna look at the achievements just in case one of them says, "Oh yeah, say this." No, I'm really tempted to. Crime committed for fun. I didn't even see that one. A warning from the Twilight Realm. I'm gonna just say it. It was a warning from the Twilight Realm. You know, something like. All right, Swordmaster, thanks for joining. I'll see you later. Thou shalt not leave bodies lying around the inner sanctum. You putrid-headed lawyer, have you already forgotten? The High Priest's body was left lying in the inner sanctum. All right. If the killer did not wish for bodies to be left at the inner sanctum, they would have moved the High Priest's corpse as well. Well, he's not wrong. How is this for a warning, Mr. Wright? Thou shalt not suffer half-baked answers. Next time I better look before I leap. It seems the reason why the body was moved after all will remain a mystery. No, Your Majesty. I believe I can explain why. I mean, stabbing of this person happened because... crime committed for fun. Maybe this was a crime committed for fun. The killer is someone who loves watching people react to murder scenes. That explains why they placed the body where so many people would see it.
Objection!
But then why would the killer bother meddling with the estimated time of death? Oh, that's a good point. Sitting through your silly answers is no fun, but I do enjoy levying penalties afterwards. Well, I don't. It seems the reason blah 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 remain mystery. No, Your Majesty, I believe I can explain why. How much longer do we have until we get to, like, the to be continued for this, anyway? Make it look like a serial murder. It was an attempt to make my client look like a serial killer. That's right. The real killer planned all of this. This forged serial murder case. They did? That's it, Nick. Keep hammering away. Your reasoning has more holes in it than the cheese your foreigners so enjoy. What? Like those putrid hole-riddled clumps of courage that only a rat like you could love. Your reasoning, much like your putrid hole-riddled brain, has putrefied. What's his deal with things going putrid? You have yet to overturn my argument that accused is the killer. A careful analysis of the chain of events up to the killing exposes the truth as follows. Disguised as Lady Kira, the accused found the rebel hideout the day before the rite. But Acolyte Zealot had followed her there, after noticing her suspicious behavior. Caught by surprise, she pushed the stone slab toward him, and we know the rest. I've never been to the rebel hideout in my life! When the High Priest arrived at the sanctum the next day, he realized what she had done. That is when the accused murdered him in order to silence him. I believe Prosecutor Samari has proposed a compelling scenario. The defense, on the other hand, has yet to disprove the accused's guilt. Okay.
Objection!
Why would my client move Acolyte Zealot's body to where everyone could see it? And why would she stab the dagger with fingerprints into his dead body? She had no reason to do any of those things. The dagger in his corpse was likely a warning to the rebels. Something along the lines of Lady Kira will slay the defiant dragon. So that is why she moved the body to the plaza for all to see. Now he has the judge convinced too? I thought I'd finally made some headway. Well, Mr. Wright, about time for one of your groans of distress, is it not? A groan of distress? It kills me to admit this, but I've got nothing to counter his argument with. I still haven't disproven the allegations against Maya. Is it not time to end your futile struggle? You were already judged guilty yesterday. That makes you a dead lawyer walking. Accept the death that now awaits you, and in doing so, finding no peace. A dead lawyer locking, indeed. And then again, are not all lawyers who practice in Khu'rain. But I must admit, I misspoke earlier. Allow me to amend my statement. I had said the defense's reasoning had a putrid cheese-like smell. But I now realize the stench was his own putrid body on the verge of death. Okay, Nayuda, you can shut the hell up. You're starting to actually get really annoying. And actually insulting. Now I'm a rotting zombie. Think, who could have killed Zealot the day before the rite? Who knew about the rebel hideout and could gain access to the inner sanctum? Huh. Only those involved with the rite can enter the sanctum, so... Wait a second. Only a rebel would have known the secret hideout. And the only person who was involved with the rite had access to the sanctum. And was suspected of being a rebel is... Did somebody come to mind? Yes, except there's one huge problem. A huge problem? What are you two going on about? Plotting your escape from this sacred hall? I would not put it past you, considering you have no means to raise further objection. If I don't do something, Prosecutor Samari will have this one in the bag. I'll just have to bluff my way out of this, regardless of that huge problem. Your Majesty, I believe there is another suspect in Perez Zealot's murder.
Objection!
Even the most benevolent Holy Mother would not forgive such a desperate lie. After all, you know very well that such a person does not exist. No, there is one person who knew everything. Does such a figure truly exist? Tell us who might that be? I believe the prime suspect in the Acolyte murder case is quite obvious.
Take that!
It had to have been someone allowed to enter the sanctum, and who knew of the hideout. And that would be the High Priest. He could have committed the crime if it occurred the day before the rite. You would pin a crime on the dead, knowing very well they tell no tales. I'm on the wrong voice. Have you no shame? Dead men tell no tales. That is definitely a problem. If only the High Priest could tell his side of the story. What? Do I have something on my face? Wait a second. Did this actually work? Oh no, don't tell me I have something on my breakfast cup between my teeth. What? No, if there's even the slightest possibility, I'll have to go with it. Your Majesty, dead men do tell tales. Therefore, I would like to request the High Priest's testimony. His testimony? And just how do you propose we get the deceased to testify? There's a way for the dead to testify. It's known as channeling. Summoning her by means of spirit channeling. What did you just say? Spirit channeling? Has the lawyer gone and finally gone and saying, "Let the sacrilege, may the Holy Mother strike him down"? Peace. He's gonna let peace, dude. I am frankly astonished you even know of such a thing. But spirit channeling is a secret art that only Her Eminence Queen Khu'rain can perform. And Her Eminence is far too busy with other duties to perform at our pleasure. I suspected as much. That means our only hope is... It's okay, Nick. You can tell them. But Maya, I thought you wanted to keep it secret here in Khu'rain. Don't worry. It's not like it's against the law or it violates some religious precepts, so... I don't think we'll be punished. At least I hope not. It's like suddenly, no, you are now the queen! This is a crucial period for you. I will decide whether you become a master of Khu'rain. We don't have any other choice now, do we? If I'm found guilty, it'll be a lot worse than not becoming a master of Khu'rain. Alright. Thanks, Maya. Actually, there is someone here who's capable of channeling spirits. But even Her Benevolence, Princess Rafa, finds the divination seance to be challenging. Who could possibly have greater spiritual power than she, aside from the Queen? That would be... me. Is this some sort of joke? A foreigner could not possibly have such power. Even the royal princess isn't capable of such a feat. Peace, peace, I say. Is this true? Is this the accused capable of performing the secret art of channeling spirits? Or spirit channeling? Well, yes. Yes, I can. Now, Your Majesty, we'd like your permission to begin. Your Benevolence. This is an outrage. An outrage, I say. First, you make a mockery of the divination seance, and now spirit channeling. Her Benevolence speaks the truth. Spirit channeling is a sacred rite. Foreign devils, I say, you should be put to death immediately. Still your voices. Barbed head, spirit channeling is a most sacred and secret arts. Are you prepared to face the consequences of what you propose? Yes, I am. Your Benevolence, are you saying you will approve their use of spirit channeling? I will judge whether their claim is true. If this is but another of their lies, they shall be executed on the spot. Very well, then. Your Benevolence? What if the accused accidentally calls forth an evil spirit? Do you truly believe this foreigner is capable of channeling spirits? Oh, no, but I wanted to be sure, as I am responsible for the safety of all present. Well, an inexperienced practitioner could inadvertently call forth a dangerous spirit. But do not fear, for I have a Magatama of parting. It's red. With it, I can send spirits back to the Twilight Realm by halting the flow of spiritual power. Could that not also be affecting you, which might be why you can't do that? That is a relief indeed. These foreigners have thrown down the gauntlet. Let us not shirk from their challenge. We must prove them guilty and deliver their last rites. Do I make myself clear, Prosecutor Samadhi? Perfectly, Your Benevolence. I did the wrong voice there, but whatever. Very well, the accused may channel the High Priest power spirit. But first, we must take a short recess to prepare. We will resume as soon as the preparations are complete. Until then, this court is adjourned. Me. To be continued? To be continued. Okay, that's actually been a whole 2 hours. Save, yes. Now, let me check. It's been an hour and 30 minutes. How long is the next part of this? Is it another hour or like 30 minutes? Or 2 hours? Because if it's like short enough, I might do it. If it's like an hour, I won't. A few hours long. Okay, then yeah, we'll definitely end it there. We'll have to pick this up next time. So let's get out of here. Complete. Turn to games menu. All right. So this was actually not that long. I thought it'd be a little bit longer than that, but that's fine. 1 hour and 30 minutes is good enough. So we shall pick this up next week, Tuesday. Tomorrow, I'll be back with more Starfield for the final test to see if I'm going to continue streaming it or not. So look forward to that. I'm interested in finding out what happens when Maya channels the spirit. Like, because she says that she hasn't done it for quite a number of years because she's been training this whole time. Is she just going to be unable to do it, or is it going to be something like this, the Magatama is interfering with her powers? I don't know. It's going to be interesting, and it's going to be cool, but we shall find out next time. So, as usual, thank you all for watching. If you like what I do, like, follow, subscribe, do that bell notification, know when I next stream. And if you want to know if you want to help support me, there's links to Patreon and tips in the description on YouTube and in the bottom of the video for Twitch. If you do become a patron, get your name added to the patron screen here, where I give you a shout out at the end of each stream, like I do with Hiro Rukuni and the Soul Master 37. I thank you for the continued support, and I greatly appreciate you. And we get to go back to channeling spirits, baby. But until next time, y'all take care. Have a nice rest of the day, and I'll see you either tomorrow or next week. Until then, bye-bye. Bye, Raphatron. Y'all take care.